terracotta pots that you can paint. I've got a couple of examples that I've done previously just to show you what the kind of finished product looks like so you have a rough idea of what you're kind of aiming for. So this is just freehand painting with some acrylic paints on a small terracotta pot. Um, and then this one is also the same, but I added in some twine here at the top just with some PVA glue. So that just gives you an idea of the types of things you can do. The one today, I'm going to make it obviously Valentine's themed. Obviously, you don't have to do that. But just with the time of year, it's a nice activity, and then you can gift it to someone. These small pots, you can get them for about £1, £1.30 from any kind of DIY garden centre. And they're also a great size because they don't take too much effort to paint. It's not like a kind of big one, but these ones are slightly bigger, so you could decide what size you want to do depending on how much time you've got, or if kind of bigger project over a longer period of time is something that you would like to do. So what you would need to do this activity would be a terracotta pot. I've already painted this one just with the first coat, just because I obviously had to wait for it to dry. You could paint straight onto the terracotta because it's that kind of nice orange colour, and that could be your background. But I've gone with a nice pink colour, just for Valentine's Day. You'll need some acrylic paints. So I've got a variety of different colours here, and then I'll just mix them together to get the colours that I want. The main one I'll probably be using is the red. I'll be using red, and then I'll probably be mixing it with some white to make some different shades of pink and red. You want a cup of water just to make sure you can rinse off your paintbrushes, just in case you're using a couple of different colours and you want to use the same brush. You'll want a variety of different size paintbrushes. I have this kind of bigger one here, which is quite big, which I would use to do the coat on the pot, just because it's quick, easy. And then I've got these smaller ones to be a bit more detailed, and I've just got a different kind of couple of different sizes. I might not use them all, but it's good to have the different sizes. If you were wanting to put some twine or ribbon like I've done with this one, you could pick that. You could even put the twine on and then paint over that. And if you were wanting to kind of stick twine or anything like that on, you would just need some PVA glue and a paintbrush to be able to do that. So I've just got this big PVA. I just put it into this little cup, and I've got it there if I want to use it. I just use a paper plate as my mixing for my paint, my mixing dish for my paint. You could also use like just a normal plate you've got lying around, and then just wash it afterwards. And then I've also got just a bit of kitchen roll so that I can dab off my paintbrushes, dry them off as I'm painting. So I'm just going to get started decorating. I've already kind of had a look online for ideas, and I've also had a couple ideas myself. I've mixed some of them together, and I've started painting on some little love hearts. So right now I'm just going to focus on this top bit. You could do anything with this. You could put on, like I say, twine and paint it. You could use ribbon. You could use wool. There's so many different things that you could probably put on it. Like you could maybe stick on some pipe cleaners, or anything that you've kind of got lying around the house. It depends kind of what look you're going for. How big the pot is probably as well. So I'm just painting on freehand, some love hearts. And the way I'm doing that is I'm just putting kind of like 2 lines in here, like that, to get the love heart shape. And then if I think it needs a bit of touching up, I'm just going back over it. And I'm using quite a big paintbrush. And I'm making sure that they're kind of spaced out nicely. And I'm just going to go around the top here.
Could you hold it towards the middle? That's it, Lorna. If you can paint it there, that's lovely. We'll be able to see it. We'll be able to see your technique. That's perfect.
But my hand's probably getting in the way, but I'll
No,
show
no,
you.
your hand's fine. That's lovely. We can see it now. That's it.
You can also use
That's it.
pencil. So if you weren't wanting to do this freehand, you could also use pencil and draw on first, and then kind of use that as an outline. But see if you're drawing on freehand, you can always paint over it. You know, if you make a mistake, don't worry about it. Because if you kind of made a mistake and you wanted to rub it out, basically, you could use water. I can show you actually. So that one was a bit messy. So all I would do is get some water on my paintbrush and I would just go over it to blend it in a little bit. I know it looks like a mess, but don't worry. And then get the colour that I was using and go over the top of it, and you would not know that you had made a bit of a mistake. Obviously, you now need to leave that to dry for a little while, so I'll come back to that bit. Again, can you see the fact that you can't tell?
Yes.
Hopefully you can see that clearly.
Invisible.
Or hopefully you can't see it because I've covered up so well. So, like I say, the technique for doing the love heart is just one line this way, one line that way, and it makes a really nice love heart shape.
Lovely.
And I'll just do this last one, and then I'm going to move on. I'm going to let this bit dry where I made my mistake, and I'm going to move on to what I want to do down here. So you could maybe, if it's Valentine's Day themed, you could do some love hearts. I'm going to do some flowers because I think they're a nice Valentine's Day theme as well. Similar to what I've done on this one. These are quite a good size. You could make them even bigger than this. I'm probably going to go with this size just because I like that size. That pot is slightly bigger. So I'm going to go with yellow in the middle, like so. To get that kind of circular shape, you could use like cotton bud, you can do it freehand. Also, the end of a paintbrush is really good, so you would just dab it in and use that to get the nice circular shape. And then I'm going to rinse off my paintbrush and I'm going to put some petals on it. And I'm going to go with red just to stick with the theme of Valentine's Day. So again, to do the petal, really easy. You're just kind of making a nice shape like that. You can make it as big or as small as you want. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger so it stands out. Again, don't worry too much about making mistakes. You can always rub it out. You want the paint to be quite thick so that when it dries, you can't really see the background colour there. See how nice that's looking. You could add on a nice stem and a nice green leaf if you wanted to. So I would just do that all the way around. And it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. You could do multicolored leaves, flowers, sorry, if you wanted to. Or you could do what I'm doing instead. Seam. One thing you do need to be careful of is obviously I've just painted the top of this pot. So I don't want to be sticking my thumb into the wet paint. So try and hold it and not touch. So you just put your hand inside it, or else you might smudge all of the paint that you've just, all of the little parts that you've just done. Because you could also do this, not just for Valentine's Day gifts, you could do it for Halloween, and do pumpkins, you could do Christmas pots, and it can take as long as you want it to take. So I'll just do probably one more, just to give you an idea of what it's looking like. You could switch up the colours, you could switch up the sizes. If you felt like it looked a bit too plain, just with these flowers on it, you could put nice little dots or more hearts. If you wanted to kind of add a bit of sparkle to it, you could put on some glitter. That would stick to the paint, but you could also mix the paint with some PVA glue, make it extra sticky. So I've just got kind of like different colours of glitter here you could use. So that just gives you an idea of what it looks like. Very pink and very red. And then I have thought about if I'm giving this as a gift, what do I need? So I'm going to want to put a little gift tag on it. With this gift tag, I did this myself, and I actually just used my fingerprint to make this little flower. You could do that on the pot as well. You could dip into the paint, and you could use your finger to make the love heart shape, and then if you think it looks a bit messy, which this one does, you could just go over it with your paintbrush, give it a bit more shape. The flowers are a good one to do because you can just make them the shape of your fingerprint.
Lovely.
So,
Could you show us that fingerprint one again? Sorry, just in the middle of the screen. That'd be great. Just a wee dab. That's it.
so you just put some paint on the tip of your finger, and you just go one side and the other side, and then to make it look a bit better, if you think it needs a bit more shape down the bottom,
Very good.
you just shape up.
Lovely. Thank you.
So that's what I did with the gift card. I think I used my pinky, and I just put it in different colours and then made nice little petals. Um, you could also, like I say, use cotton buds for it, which is a good one if people don't like having like messy hands. I'm going to stick my gift bag to my pot. And to do that, I'm just going to use a little bit of sellotape. Peel this off. So I'm just going to pop this on here and pop a little bit of tape over it. And then what you want to think about is what do you want to put in your pot as a gift? So I just picked up a couple of nice house plants. So this one is polka dot plant. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's got lovely pink. So this bit that kind of looks a bit white on the camera is actually a lovely pink colour. So I thought that's a perfect one to go in my pink pot for Valentine's Day. And I've also got this one, which is like a kind of purpley colour, purpley red colour, which is also in with the theme of Valentine's Day. So I'm just going to pop that in my pot. And there is a lovely Valentine's Day